for my women who are doing purpose-driven businesses, businesses that they are co-creating with God, businesses that are ministries, businesses that God said, do this for me. I need this in my kingdom. Businesses that God said, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, this is your purpose. This is what you need to do, right? You have got to bring your whole self to your business. You have got to look at the entire you in your business. Hi, welcome to Faithfully Ambitious. My name is Rashonda Lyons Reed. I am the owner of the Business School, and we are a training and consulting company that helps small to mid-sized businesses build the foundation of their business so they can grow and scale to the level of success that they desire. So, as you know, Faithfully Ambitious is all about moving with bold faith, creating smart strategies so we can leave a lasting impact. First off, today I am doing something a little different. If you have not been here, or this is the first time you've stumbled, you haven't seen my other videos, and you may not know, depending on when you watch this, that this is a new channel for me. So I am new to being on YouTube in regards of giving out content, recording, blah, 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 blah. So you will see me switching things up a little bit, just to get an idea of what feels best and what I like best. So my other videos, I had the background. This one I'm just gonna try without the background to see what I like better. See what gives better. One thing about this channel that is important to me is not only to share good information, but also share the realness of business ownership. You know, I think sometimes we get on social media, we get on YouTube, we get in all the places, right? And we see these business owners and everything is so wonderful, perfect, and polished, that we don't sometimes see the struggle. And again, I work with business owners who are starting out in their business. I work with business owners who are kind of at that mid-level where they are hiring a team, or trying to find some leverage points. And I work all the way up to people who are ready to really be in CEO status and not be present in the business every day. But majority of my clients are in those first two tiers. And I see a lot of them struggle, including myself, with how things look on the outside from other people. And so you never get to see the bloopers, right? You get to see the perfection. You get to see how it all worked out in the end. But it didn't start that way. And it's funny because there are some people on social media that I've been following for a very long time. And when they make a change, they will go back and they will delete all their older stuff, or, and I find that funny because it's like, sometimes we want to see your progression. And for the consultants I follow, I'm like, man, don't delete that video. I need that. I refer back to that video. So anyways, today I want to talk to you about how, as a consultant, it is important to deal with the entire person. And why in your business, you need to bring your whole self to the table. Now, one key component of this is for my women who are doing purpose-driven businesses, businesses that they are co-creating with God, businesses that are ministries, businesses that God said, do this for me. I need this in my kingdom. Businesses that God said, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, this is your purpose. This is what you need to do, right? You have got to bring your whole self to your business. You have got to look at the entire you in your business. Why is that? Why, when I sit down with the client, do I not just focus on their business goal? First off, if you are a small to mid-sized business, you are the business. Most small to mid-sized businesses that are at a, like I said, the level 1 or level 2, where you're starting out, or you're at the point of, hey, I need some help. I can't do this all by myself anymore. Usually it's you and up to maybe 3 to 5 employees. You are still a very big component of that business at either one of those stages. And if it's just you, you are the only component of that business as far as staff and manpower is concerned. So in those phases, it's so important for you to business plan with the whole you in mind, because if you don't, there are things that you are going to miss. You could potentially start to resent your business, or you're going to face burnout. And what do I mean when I say bring all of you to your business? What do I mean when I say when I consult someone, I consult around the entire them and not just the business? Let me give you one example. Your schedule. As a business owner, we'll sit down and we'll think about what our schedule is. Okay, I'm gonna work 8 to 5. But what time do the kids come home from school? 3:15, 3:30. They're running in the door, or you're having to stop and pick them up, and you're like, close the door, I gotta go back to work. Or you stop at 3:30, which is fine. It's your business. Do what you need to do. But think about those things, because what you don't want to do, especially I see this with my moms, you don't want your kids to come home at 3:15, 3:30. You close the door to finish working for another hour, and eventually you start to feel bad. You're like, man, I don't spend any time with my kids right when they get home from school. And we used to always color, or we used to always have a snack, and they would tell me about their day. Now, when I go out at 5 o'clock, they're in their rooms, or they're, my spouse is home and they're engaging with them. And you start to kind of feel like, man, I gotta choose between mom and business. No. When you set your schedule, also think about the things that are important to you in your day that need to be done, and you build your schedule around that. That is okay. That is the reason why most of us got in business, right? Because we did not want to have a certain constraint around our schedules. We needed flexibility. We desired flexibility. So your schedule is one place. Another place is, who are you? What do you enjoy doing? There are tons of ways to lead generate in business. Tons. What do you like to do? If you hate picking up the phone, sounding like a telemarketer or a robot, why pick that as your lead generation technique? Is it effective? Yes. But what I know about business owners, even if something is effective, if you really despise doing it, you're not going to do it for long, and you're going to find ways in your day to do everything else but that. Which means if you are not lead generating, you are potentially not bringing business into your business, which means you're not going to make money. The other thing, another example, is building in important dates, times, structures, things that are important to you. Holidays. When are you most productive as a business owner? Some people are morning people. If you're not a morning person, why are you setting your day to start at 5 a.m. so you can start your business at 8 a.m.? Different people have different lives. What if you are not a mom or a parent, but you're a caretaker? If there's something you need to do every Tuesday night, build that in. My point is, think about the things that matter to you. Think about who you are. Another key area, and people don't like to talk about this, but think about what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Because you need to prepare your business for what your weaknesses are. If you are not strong in an area, you don't want your business to fail in that area because it's an area you're not strong in. And let me tell you something. We are good. I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care how driven you are. We can be good at a lot of things, but we are not going to be good at everything. I know you're mad at me. It's okay, but we're not. I can do a lot of stuff, but there are people who are experts in some areas that do it better than I do. I can get it done. And then there are just some things, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm just not good at that. And that's okay. But the thing is to know that, well, back up. The thing is to admit that Know what those things are so you can successfully plan in your business. If numbers is not your thing, then don't spend 10 hours a week trying to do the numbers in your business. Hire a bookkeeper. Invest in some software that makes it easier to log whatever information that you need to log. Invest in software that's going to help you track your numbers. Invest in software or a business system that is going to keep track of your sales and your money and things like that. There are things to do. So you want to make sure that you are thinking about all of you. Now, if you are a purpose-driven business, you also want to think about how you are going to serve and how God wants you to show up in your business. Being a purpose-driven business owner and co-creating a business with God is different because we cannot always do the things the way the algorithms or the gurus tell us. It's uncomfortable because it's like, oh, I'm supposed to do this, but God is like, you're not going to do that. And it's like, oh, but how am I going to be successful? So when I consult my client and they're doing a purpose-driven business, which is 90% of my clients, that's my niche, right? That's the thing that I do. That's my jelly. Why? Because that's what God has called me to do, number one. And I understand and I know the difference. I've run a business just like, hey, this is my business. I love God, but this is my business. And I kind of segmented the two. And through time, God completely transitioned my business to literally, I am only doing things with God in my business, where it's like, okay, God, what do you want me to do today? Because I don't know. So you have to make sure that you understand, if you are a purpose-driven business, there are going to be some times that you can't do things the way that everybody else does them. Hello, set apart. Does that sound familiar at all? Sure it does. So you have to make sure that you are bringing that into your business, because if you're not, when you're business planning, when you're trying to decide, should you take this client or not? When you are setting up systems and processes, you need to make sure that you are also incorporating what that purpose is, that you are also incorporating what it is that God has called you to do, that you are also incorporating the strategy that God has given you. And if you have not done any of that, you need to go back to the drawing board and ask God, you want me to do this business? How do you want me to do it? What should I be doing? And how do you want me to serve the people that I'm supposed to serve? But if you leave that out because you're just focused on the legalistic aspects of business, it will be detrimental for you. It will be hard. It will be isolating. So that is why it's important that when you are business planning, that you're bringing your entire self to the table and you are factoring in who you are, what your desires are, your schedule, your family, your commitments, your budget, your constraints, your weaknesses, your strengths. You are bringing all that into the business because it affects the business. So again, if you ever have any issues, if you ever want to hash something out in greater detail, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But that is the important thing that you need to do when you are thinking about your business. Make sure you're bringing your entire self. So I will see you all soon. Have a wonderful day. Until next time.